Hi and welcome to Online Appliance Tech. Today we're going to go over the Kenmore Elite and the LG washer that has no power. So if you have a unit that has no power and you really don't know which part it is, in this video we'll go over these three main parts which it could be, and this way you're not making the wrong decision of buying parts that you don't need. So if you do have the Kenmore Elite or a Kenmore washer, it is the same as the LG washer, as you'll see in this video. So today I was working on the Kenmore Elite made by LG, in other words LG parts that has no power. So first thing you want to do is make sure you unplug it, and also check like your electric from the wall, plug in like a hair dryer to make sure that's not the issue. And then you have two screws in the back, I don't know what that was, that will so you can remove the top panel. So this is the two bottom screws. So once those two bottom screws are removed, you can just press back on the top panel. Sometimes they're a little bit of a pain to get off, but just keep on pressing and pushing and then it will come off, and just put it somewhere safe. So you will need a multimeter if you're a do-it-yourselfer or a technician. So plug in the unit, and then we're going to check the noise filter. So you have power input coming in from the wall. So we're going to make sure we do have the correct power input, and then we'll check the power output. So you'll put it on voltage, and be careful if you're not comfortable, just call a professional. But if you feel comfortable doing this, go right ahead. So you'll put it on voltage, and as you can see here we have 121 volts, so we do know we have the correct voltage from the wall, and then it should have the output voltage here. So we'll unplug it, and then we'll disconnect the harness itself because they have it taped, and then we'll just check the power output on the other side, which should be around 120 volts. So now let's replug in the unit, and then you're going to put your multimeter prongs on the bottom and the far top, and not the middle of these, because right here you'll have three prongs, or three connectors. So the one at the bottom, one at the top, as you can see here we have 121 volts, so we are getting power out, and from here this power goes to the main control board. So unplug the unit before you reconnect this power cord, and then we'll check out the main control board. So right here you should have a red light. So plug in the unit and you should have a red light right around there. So if you can't see it, you could remove the control board, which I'll show you here soon, or just turn the lights off. You should see a red light. So in this case we did not have a red light, so now we're going to do electrical checks to the display, because at this point we don't know if it's the main board or the display itself. So as you can see here, these are the harnesses that you will be testing. So we will test the black and red. It should read 120 volts or 115 to 120 volts, not anything less than 115. So we'll check this, and then we'll see if we get the 120 volts. And we do have 116, so it's above 115, so we will give this a pass. However, if you do not receive the 120 volts, your main control board would be defective. So right here we're going to check the orange and the red. You will have to turn the power button on, and you should receive 12 DC volts. If you do receive the 12 DC volts, that means you'll have a bad display main control board. If you do not, that would be your main control board. But however, if your red light is not on the board, you would never receive this either or, because your main control board is defective. However, make sure you do have it set on the right setting. As you can see there, I did not. It has to be on DC voltage, not AC or any other thing. So make sure that's correct, but definitely check for the light on the main control board and press the power button, but you should receive the 12 volts. So with the same harness, we're going to check the yellow and red for 5 DC volts with the power button on and the LED red light on the main control board. So if you do not receive this voltage of 5 DC volts, that's a bad main control board. If you do, that's a bad display control board. So in this case, it was a main control board. So let me show you how to remove it. You have a support beam on the top. So you have 2 Phillips screws there, and you have 2 at the very top of the machine, which I'll show you here in a minute. I thought this screw was to remove the main control board, but it's actually another one, so I'll show you here soon. So you have a support beam there, and then you have 2 Phillips screws at the top that you will have to remove. Okay, once removed, you'll just kind of push that over, and then you'll pull this one out. So you'll slide the top over and pull that one out. You will have to remove this zip tie, so when you do cut it, just make sure not to cut the wire itself. So if you have a pair of glasses like I do, definitely wear them. You don't want to cut that wire. And so just snip that, and then you'll just remove that out of the way. So I already removed this one, so it should come off fairly easy. So, but you see this is grooved in the back of the housing. This is a screw that we will have to remove. So it's just one Phillips screw. So let's go ahead and remove that. And then once we remove this, we'll just slide the control board towards its right, and it should just come right out from the housing. Okay, great. So now let's remove this one Phillips screw. This holds the water pressure switch. So we'll just remove the screw, and then we'll just slide that right off the main control board, because we will have to remove the front panel. It's good to have like a little plastic pry tool to pry the top off. It won't come out this easy. Like I said, I already removed it once. I'm just showing this for video purposes. So this will just come right off. Sometimes you get stuck on something, so take your time and wiggle it out. There we go. So just for educational purposes, I'm going to plug it in with the panel, or the front off, and show you that there is no LED light. So that's definitely a bad board, which we already checked. So you should see a light at that moment. So now we're going to remove the harnesses from the main control board. They do have little clips on the side of the harness that you press down. I'll try to show you here in a minute. Let me grab my flashlight. Okay, so the only ones that you would have to watch out for is the yellow and black, but they're color coded. But the rest, they just kind of go in one way. You can't mess it up. So as you can see here, you have a little press clip you press down, and that's when you press down, you just pull the harness out. They are a little stubborn though, I'll be honest with you. So just take your time. One thing you do not want to do is yank on the wire. That will cause a short or open line, and something won't work, and then you'll be kind of trying to figure out what happened. So definitely just don't yank on the wire. So once you remove the main control board, I always like to compare the old one with the new one and make sure I got the right one, because most of the time when you do install a new main control board, they will not allow you to return it. So definitely make sure it's the correct one. I was just looking at this one because I saw 2 burnt marks here on the resistors. So really don't know what happened, but as you can see here, they're little burnt marks on the resistors. So that was probably the case with this one. So here's the LG part, which is the same as Kenmore, as you can see on the box. So we'll remove this guy. Let me get something to open it up with. So I do see that these are the same control boards, so I'm good to go. I just cut out, make sure everything matches. So now I will just reinstall this guy. So the first thing I like to do first is put it in the connector to the back housing. So I'll just slide it in there, line up the the control board with the hose in the back, and then I'll slide it towards me, and I'll click into place. So I line it up, and then I'll just slide it in towards me, and then I'll just put that Phillips screw in to hold it in place eventually. So great. So I'm going to go ahead and plug it in and give it a test run. Make sure you do reconnect everything. I did have to fast forward this video because I ran out of battery. But as you can see, the LED light is right there. So if you receive this light, that does mean your main control board is getting power. I'll just pop this in diagnostic mode and give it a test run. Everything looks good. So like I stated earlier, my camera was about to die, so I wasn't able to record me putting this thing back together, but just rewind the video if you have to. I'm pretty sure you have it from here. I do hope this video was helpful. Please like and subscribe for more future tips and videos, and if you have any questions, just leave any comments below. Thank you.